Kevin Durant gave Brooklyn Nets owner Joe Tsai an ultimatum. Fire head coach Steve Nash and general manager Sean Marks, or trade me. KD's first request of a trade came last day of June. It's been 41 days since then. Durant was reportedly upset with the incentive-based deal that was offered to Kyrie by Nets management after they refused to sign him for more money. Durant's ultimatum to have Steve Nash fired also comes 4 months after Durant praised Nash's coaching job throughout COVID-19 complications and tumultuous player relationships. Durant has won 1 playoff series in his 2 seasons with the Nets. He sat out his first year in Brooklyn, rehabbing a ruptured Achilles. Durant has requested a trade, but no team has the assets to trade for him, let alone be a contender once he gets there. And where would KD even go? His 2 trade destinations that he listed were Phoenix and Miami, the top seeds in both conferences, with both potential trades looking more unfeasible after the Suns signed DeAndre Ayton and no real trade with Miami makes sense to keep them in contention. And then there's the question of where would KD even want to go? Would he be happy in somewhere like Boston or Philly or Toronto? The most recent reports say that Boston is the front runner for KD, who views the Celtics as a desired landing spot, with the trade revolving around small forward Jaylen Brown, point guard Marcus Smart, draft pick compensation, and possibly another role player. Reports also say that KD's move didn't help, and that the Nets aren't going to lower their asking price for Durant, who still has 4 more years left on his deal after signing an extension. Another interesting wrinkle in this story is the delayed coverage of Durant's ultimatum by worldwide news conglomerate ESPN, who waited until Monday night to post a reiteration of the response tweeted by Joe Tsai. Their post read, "Brooklyn Nets Governor Joe Tsai voices support for front office, coaches, in wake of Kevin Durant's trade demands." Former ESPN reporter Ethan Strauss wrote in his publication House of Strauss that ESPN's NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski has some uncomfortably close ties within the Nets front office, and it's a no-brainer that the GM of the Nets doesn't want it known that KD wants him fired. ESPN sees this as a no-go zone. Strauss goes on to explain that Woj has jumped down people's necks in the past for revealing things about his sources that they didn't want to be out there. ESPN's framing of the leaked stories is interesting, as well as their post, because it never mentioned Durant's ultimatum, clearly because it wouldn't look good for the Nets. The question now is if KD will refuse to show up to training camp in 7 weeks, and whether or not the Brooklyn Nets will call his bluff and mend fences to try and keep him in town. KD loves playing basketball and doesn't have a reputation for missing games, but this situation is clearly unprecedented, and he's made it very clear that he wants to go play somewhere else.